4차 산업혁명 기획 12주 1차 시강의를 시작하겠습니다. 챕터 14 에너지 확보, 저장, 전송입니다. 4차 산업혁명이 시작되는 지금 화석연료에서 재생에너지로 역사적인 전환이 이루어지려고 하고 있습니다. 청정에너지 기술과 에너지 저장 기술의 발전은 연구 단계를 지나 생산, 판매 단계로 접어들고 있습니다. 또한 다수의 국가들이 연합하여 핵융합 에너지와 같이 역사를 새로 쓸 수 있는 혁신적인 에너지 기술에 투자하면서 새로운 에너지의 미래가 열리려 하고 있습니다. 깨끗한 에너지의 확산은 친환경적이며 특히 전기 공급이 불안정하거나 부족한 개발도상국 국민들에게 희소식일 것입니다. 또한 지속가능한 에너지 기술은 기업과 소비자의 비용을 줄입니다. 지난 세기에 배출한 배기가스로 인해 파괴된 환경을 되살릴 수 있습니다. 그러나 에너지 전환을 성공적으로 이루기 위해서는 국제 공조, 장기적 계획, 이해관계자 간의 대화를 통해 기술과 인프라에 투자해야 합니다. 이에 실패한다면 잠재적으로 엄청난 성과를 가져올 수 있는 공동의 노력이 물거품이 될 수 있습니다. 청정에너지, 효율적인 배분과 대량 저장에 대해서 말씀드리겠습니다. 4차 산업혁명의 많은 기술들에는 장단점이 있습니다. 가능성이 높은 기술들이지만 잠재적으로는 불평등, 실업, 사회적 분열, 환경 파괴 등의 문제를 야기할 수 있습니다. 그러나 에너지 분야는 보다 낙관적입니다. 올바른 투자가 뒷받침된다면 새로운 에너지 기술은 에너지 가격을 낮추며 1차 산업혁명에서 비롯된 화석 연료에 대한 비중을 줄이고 모든 계층과 지역의 지속가능한 미래를 여는 데 기여할 수 있습니다. 1차 산업혁명 이후 생산과 분배의 발전으로 엄청난 양의 에너지가 접근 가능해졌습니다. 사람의 몸은 전구 하나를 켤 수 있을 정도인 약 100W의 에너지를 생산할 수 있습니다. 운동선수들은 서너 배 정도를 생산할 수 있습니다. 그러나 오늘 세계적으로 1인당 평균 8,000W 이상의 에너지를 사용하며 선진국의 경우 35,000W를 넘습니다. 문제는 이토록 많은 에너지를 만들어내기 위해 사용되는 화석연료가 지구에 주는 영향입니다. 미국 에너지 정보국에 따르면 2040년까지 글로벌 전력 소모량은 지금의 2배가 소요될 것으로 예측합니다. 이는 현재 부족한 인프라를 갖고 있는 개발도상국에 의해 대부분 소모될 것으로 보입니다. 유엔의 지속가능 발전 목표에 반영된 것과 같이 기후변화에 대한 우려는 태양광, 풍력과 같은 재생에너지에 대한 투자를 낳았고 2015년에는 투자액이 수천억 달러에 이르렀습니다. 아직까지는 세계 전력 소모의 10%에 불과합니다. 가장 큰 문제는 재생에너지 한계와 문제점 때문입니다. 재생에너지 전문가의 인터뷰를 들어보도록 하겠습니다.
Michael Schellenberger has spent many years looking at this, and he doesn't think so. He's the president of the group Environmental Progress, and he joins us tonight. Michael, thanks very much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
You wrote a piece in Quillette this morning that I thought was really smart and interesting, and I recommend it to everyone watching because of the level of scientific detail in it. But it's about wind and solar and the claim that we could shift the grid to rely on renewables like wind and solar overnight and be okay. And you say that's not possible.
Yeah, and I was one of the founders of sort of the original Green New Deal back in between 2003 and 2007. People don't remember President Obama. We spent about $150 billion on renewables between 2009 and 2015. And we just kept encountering the same kind of problems everywhere that were related both to the essential unreliability of solar and wind. They just depend on when the sun is shining and wind is blowing, which is 10 to 40% of the year. And then also something that people are not as aware of, which is the low energy density of sunlight and wind. And basically what we've been finding is that the lower the energy density of the fuel, in this case the sunlight and wind, the bigger the environmental impact. You just have to use a lot more natural resource, including land, to generate very much electricity.
So it's not very good for the environment, was your point. Then you point to another form of energy that has a checkered reputation, but that you made a very powerful case for, nuclear.
Yeah, I mean, we were in the process of trying to figure out how to deal with things like climate change, or even if you're not as concerned about climate change, how to deal with air pollution.
Yes.
We finally just had a number of friends who said, "What about nuclear?" And we were like, "Well, but nuclear is scary," and we had, I had all of the concerns that most people have about nuclear. I read up about all the accidents, and was shocked actually by how few people died in Chernobyl. In the most recent accident, Fukushima, the scientists agree that nobody will die from the radiation that escaped. And that too is explained by the energy density. So what we find is that biomass, burning wood, and fossil fuels kill about 7 million people a year from smoke. And so that smoke is just a function of all of that waste product being in the air, people breathing
Right.
it. With nuclear, even in the worst accident, only a tiny amount of material escapes. And so the energy density of the fuel also determines just how much air pollution there's going to be.
So the people who wrote the Green New Deal and proposals like it must have consulted scientists before they did, and so they must know what you just said is true, because it demonstrably is true. So why isn't nuclear part of the solution? Why are they against nuclear?
It's very disappointing. Well, I mean, there's sort of three big reasons why people are against nuclear. I mean, the first is that they associate it with the bomb, which is wrong. They're two separate technologies. The second is that in the 60s, more in the 60s, but still around today, there was concerns that too much cheap energy, too much nuclear energy, would result in overpopulation, overconsumption. And then the third one, which in some ways is the most powerful, is just a really strong desire to use energy to harmonize with the natural world. That turns out to be a bad idea, because the more natural resource we use, the worse it is for the natural environment.
Well, exactly. And I would we're unfortunately out of time. I would recommend your piece on Quillette to everybody watching, because it really changed my mind completely on the subject.
글로벌 에너지 수요를 충족하고 화석 연료 소모를 감소시키며 기후 변화를 늦추기 위해서 에너지 분야에서는 더 많은 혁신이 필요합니다. 긍정론자들은 에너지 저장 능력을 혁신함으로써 에너지 생산 목표를 달성할 수 있다고 합니다. 그러나 이를 위해서는 더 많은 투자가 필요하며 균형을 맞추어 투자를 늘리는 것이 중요합니다. 적절한 투자가 이루어진다면 바이오 배터리, 에너지 효율성 나노 소재, 모듈형 그리드 저장 장치, 합성 에너지 바이오 폐기물, 조석 에너지 같은 신기술이 발전할 것입니다. 그러나 이러한 신기술들이 상용화가 되기 위해서는 아직 많은 연구가 더 필요합니다. 바이오 배터리의 사례를 살펴보도록 하겠습니다.
Sodas and other sweet soft drinks get a lot of flack these days for all the calories they contain. But if this work pans out, we may be using them to run our cell phones and other gadgets. The folks at CFD Research Corporation uploaded their idea to Planet Forward.
Hello, my name is Jenny Ulyanova. We're developing and demonstrating the biobattery, which is essentially an enzyme-catalyzed fuel cell running on readily available biofuels such as glucose and sucrose.
That's good.
So we went to Huntsville, Alabama to check out the lab.
There we have the display, which is totally powered by
Sports drink.
In this case, Gatorade, but it works with other commonly available drinks. Samir Singhal of CFD Research says it's a testament to the power of sugar.
This one sugar packet has as much energy as 6 AA batteries. So here on the table we've got about 13 packets of sugar. That has as much energy as 4 pounds of AA batteries, 72 AA batteries.
The team's approach uses enzymes as a catalyst to convert fuels, like sugar, into electrical energy.
The biggest advantage to this technology is that it's a fuel cell and not really a battery. So you can recharge the device simply by refilling it with the fuel, with Gatorade or sugar water, for instance.
Researchers at the lab, housed at the Hudson Alpha Institute for Biotechnology, see this as a game changer, promising big advantages in terms of cost, weight, and the environment.
The same device can work with alcohol or sugar, giving you a fuel-flexible solution. There's also the potential for flexible shapes. You don't have a lot of the safety concerns you do with lithium-ion batteries of flammability and toxicity, so you don't have to have a lot of packaging material around the battery.
Biobatteries could be especially useful after, say, a natural disaster when the grid is down. In theory, sugar packs way more of a punch than a standard battery. Experts say the trick is harnessing that potential. Success would open up new possibilities. Imagine a biobattery running off the sugar in your blood. Research on insects in collaboration with scientists at Cal Berkeley is heading in that direction. The goal is a better way to power implantable medical devices.
So for instance, you can power a pacemaker off the sugar in your bloodstream. And again, that sugar, as you eat, that sugar is already replenished, so you've got an infinite supply of sugar for your power source, and then your pacemaker can last forever.
So biobatteries powered by sugar, moving the planet forward in a way that's lighter, cheaper, cleaner, and more effective.
우리 인간은 많은 웨이스트를 만들어서 환경 문제를 야기하고 있습니다. 이러한 웨이스트를 에너지로 바꾸는 프로젝트에 대해서 소개하겠습니다.
Our society produces a lot of waste, over 2 billion tons per year, in fact, a number that's expected to grow by 70% by 2050.
That's a line of garbage trucks stretching from San Francisco to New York City every single day.
Organic materials in landfills decompose, they produce methane, a very potent greenhouse gas.
Solid waste, plastics, paper, cardboard, there's a lot of energy within those, carbon and hydrogen.
Why don't you do something useful with it?
Converting waste into energy is not a new idea. Usually, though, this has meant incineration, that is, burning our trash to recover some energy. But that has major drawbacks. Incineration creates toxic ash and hazardous chemicals called dioxins, and heat and electricity are pretty much the only usable outputs. A better solution may lie in gasification, an old technology which has only recently been repurposed as a way to deal with our waste. Gasification companies don't burn trash. Instead, they turn it into a gas, in a process that they say is both economical and eco-friendly.
The focus is on producing a good quality syngas that can be converted into higher value energy products on the back end, be it electricity, hydrogen, diesel fuel, possibly even chemicals, fertilizer, etc. in the future.
It's an exciting idea, and some major players, including the Bill Gates-led fund Breakthrough Energy Ventures, have thrown their weight behind it. While in the past, gasification companies have struggled to scale up and meet their energy production targets, now companies like Sierra Energy, Enerchem, and Plasco say they're ready to commercialize and expand.
I think we have over 9,000 interested parties from around the world who've contacted us already. The question is, how quickly can we get one? The answer is soon.
The world's first municipal waste incinerator was built in 1874 in Nottingham, England. And like incinerators of today, it converted trash into ash, gas, and heat via combustion. Initially, the purpose was just to shrink our waste. Eventually, though, Great Britain and Germany did start recovering energy from the process, but the idea didn't really catch on in the US. Domestic electricity prices were already low, and as emission standards tightened, incineration got even more expensive as compared to landfilling. It wasn't until the oil embargo and resulting energy crisis in the 1970s that the US really took an interest in waste-to-energy tech. Over 100 waste-to-energy incineration plants were built, but when fuel prices dropped, interest waned.
You see a lot of interest on this waste conversion or biomass conversion when the fuel price is really expensive. And then when the fuel price drops, nobody really cares.
Today, there are about 70 waste-to-energy plants in the US, and the number is declining. But globally, many European countries still rely heavily on incineration, and Japan and China have been building waste-to-energy incinerators at a rapid clip. But many environmentalists say we need a better solution. Incinerators still emit harmful pollutants, especially in countries with lax environmental regulations.
So burning waste to get rid of it may appear to be cheap, but the long-term health consequences for the community is terrible.
So companies like Hart Sierra Energy are looking towards gasification, an old technology that proponents hope to repurpose as a cleaner and more economical waste-to-energy solution. In the gasification process, materials aren't combusted. No toxic ash or dioxins are produced. Instead, a highly controlled amount of oxygen or steam reacts with the waste, turning it into a gaseous mixture of carbon monoxide, hydrogen, and other elements. This synthetic gas has applications beyond electricity generation. It can be converted into high-value products like diesel fuel, hydrogen fuel, or ethanol. So even if electricity prices stay low, there'll be a market for these outputs.
We see much more value in chemicals and biofuels. Methanol is an important building block in the chemical industry. Ethanol is, of course, as you know, can be blended in fuels.
In this way, waste-to-energy gasification plants have both upstream and downstream revenue potential.
On one side, you're being paid to take garbage that normally would be dumped into a landfill. So that's one source of revenue. You then take that waste and you turn it into recycled products. Those products have very high value. And so from a business model perspective, you're getting paid on both ends.
But a main challenge facing companies like Sierra Energy, Enerchem, and Plasco is dealing with the unpredictability of using municipal solid waste as the fuel. Globally, there are hundreds of gasification plants that generate electricity from fossil fuels like coal, but waste-to-energy gasification is a whole different game.
Tailoring your gasification when your fuel changes over time is the holy grail.
4차 산업혁명의 다른 기술들도 에너지 분야 발전에 기여할 수 있습니다. 인공지능은 에너지 그리드를 더욱 똑똑하게 만들고 효율을 높이며 에너지 가격을 낮춥니다. 자율주행차는 최적의 경로 운행과 에너지 사용 등을 통해 에너지 효율을 높일 수 있습니다. 생명과학은 생물 연료 전지 생산을 위해 박테리아 유전자 변형과 광합성 활용 기술을 제공할 수 있습니다. 그러나 궁극적인 가능성은 핵 융합에 있습니다. 만약 계획대로 개발된다면 핵 융합 에너지는 깨끗하고 풍부하며 지속 가능하며 저렴합니다. 35개국 연합은 2035년에 프랑스에서 핵 융합 시설이 성공적으로 본격 가동되기를 기대하고 있습니다. 이는 현재 가장 선도적인 핵 융합 개발 프로젝트로 산업, 경제, 지정학에 대한 영향력은 막강할 것으로 예상됩니다. 관련 동영상을 보시겠습니다.
With more than 35 nations, 30,000 people, and 1 million components working together, we share one simple goal: to illuminate the way to new energy. Since the dawn of time, human beings have owed everything to the almighty sun that shares its light with all life on Earth. But now, a group of 35 nations, representing more than half of the world's population, is closer than ever to unlocking the secrets of the star's source of energy, hydrogen fusion, which could deliver a clean, safe, and virtually unlimited power supply to humankind for millennia to come. But the way of the sun is fraught with shadow. To succeed, ITER and its 7 primary members, China, the European Union, India, Japan, South Korea, Russia, and the United States, must overcome some of the greatest scientific challenges ever conceived and execute one of the grandest political collaborations ever dreamed. Through the shadows of all doubt, we're building a sun on Earth. So after decades of design and preparation, 2020 marks the long-awaited launch of ITER Assembly.
It's no secret that the world needs energy. We also know that the impact of the last 150 years or so of using fossil fuels has been increasingly devastating. And there's a big contest as to whether we can slow down in our consumption or we can find something to replace it with a cleaner alternative. Fusion has some unique characteristics that make it pretty much the absolute perfect energy source. Unlike fission, there is no possibility of a meltdown. If the reaction stops, everything just stops and that's it. It's really hard to do though. With fusion, we're reproducing the energy that's in the core of the sun and all the stars. We do it by creating a metal cage, and within that metal cage, an invisible magnetic cage that will confine what we call a fusion plasma. The idea of magnetic confinement we've been doing for roughly 60 years, building bigger and bigger tokamaks, and finally we've gotten to this. So the ITER project, 35 countries working together for the first time to build an industrial scale machine.
Well, I think it very much resembles a theater. Downstairs is the central stage, and then we have all these port openings here, port cells. They remind me of theater boxes where the Empress and the Emperor sort of waved at their people. You know. I think we will not be able to stand here and to wave at ITER. This is certainly going to be a big theater for mankind. We have 150 million degrees inside the core of the plasma. We have 12 Tesla magnetic forces. We have currents in the system of 15 megaamps. So whatever figure you look at within ITER, it's big.
Without our members, we can't progress. We need them to believe and be committed throughout this really long project. It's lasting many, many years. So how do you stay committed to something? You have to stay well informed. You have to see what the progress is. So we go out, we do presentations, we meet people from the research community, from industry, policymakers. Everyone has an open invitation to come here and get a worksite tour and learn more about the project. We welcome this because it will help us reach new audiences.
You know, back in Japan, maybe people don't know about ITER, but they're interested, definitely. I have many friends here, many colleagues, and they're doing like great job. They're hardworking every day, morning to evening. But I think, you know, we communications team have the responsibility to spread their effort using social media, outreach.
As energy needs continue to build, we want the next generation to understand how fusion energy can be important. So we bring thousands of kids here every year to actually tour the site. We also try to bring in a lot of journalists. You're seeing a lot more press about ITER these days. There are literally hundreds of factories and laboratories, thousands and thousands of people around the world on multiple continents contributing their ideas to this project to try to change the future of human society.
You know, I'm just an intern student, but like somehow I'm trying to contribute to this like biggest project in the world. This could change the human history. It's great to do this job.
Everybody knows why we are trying to achieve fusion energy, but to sit in the cafeteria or in the canteen and to see all these different nationalities coming together to deliver a new source of energy that can really help us find a solution to prevent our own extinction.
Join us each week as we share the stories of the entire ITER endeavor. Not just the amazing machine and the incredible science, but the hard-working people who bring ITER to life right now. Thanks for sharing, and remember, as a publicly funded project, ITER belongs to all of us, so we could not do this work without you.